coordinators, teachers, parents, and dear friends. We welcome you all to our Grade 5 annual play presentation, The Little Prince, A Journey to the Heart, an adaptation of a French animated fantasy adventure and drama film.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this morning we invite you to a journey beyond the stars, not with rockets, not with machines, but to the eyes of a tiny curious prince. His golden hair aglow with imagination. He came from a faraway star, leaving behind his small planet with excitement in his heart. From one world to another he traveled, seeking answers to questions and uncovering truths that even grown-ups often forget.
On each planet, he met someone new, a king with no subjects. subjects, a rose, fragile yet proud, a lamplighter, faithful to his duty, a businessman lost in his numbers, and many more. Every meeting was a mirror, every encounter a message. As the saying goes, what is essential is invisible to the eye.
The Little Prince's journey is one of wonder, curiosity, and discovery. A reminder that the greatest stories are not written in books, but in hearts. So, we welcome you all to the Grade 5 annual play presentation,
The Little Prince, a journey to the heart.
a story packed with excitement, imagination, and wisdom.
Dear audience, sit back, open your hearts, and enjoy the magic of the Little Prince's journey. Once upon a silent, deeper than the sea of sand, where winds whisper secrets and stars kept watch, a story unfolded of a boy, a rose, and 1,000 questions. They say not all who wander are lost, and sometimes a wanderer falls from the sky. This tale begins not with crowds or kings, but in the desert, where emptiness can bloom into wonder. The desert was empty when a plane fell from the sky, but emptiness hides surprises. One child, one voice, can change even the silence. Sometimes the smallest voice can echo louder than the greatest storm. From little seeds grow mighty trees. So too, from one small prince, a universe of lessons would grow.
are easier to repair than children's imaginations. Why am I, a pilot, lost in the desert, drawing a sheep for a stray child? Maybe imagination is not a distraction, but the very thing that saves us. Could it be that wonder is the water my soul thirsts for?
Yes! This one is perfect because the sheep is inside the box. What matters is not what we see, but what we imagine. What is essential is invisible to the eye, yet alive in the heart.
Invisible and yet alive? Perhaps this boy is no ordinary child. Perhaps the desert is not empty after all. They say the desert hides its greatest treasure beneath silence. And sometimes the biggest treasure is a voice.
When you meet with something magical, do not ask how or why. Ask instead, will you drum your sheep?
So how did the little prince end up here? Let's go back in time. On a tiny planet no larger than a house, a single flower swayed in the wind. Beautiful, fragile, proud, and precious. She was his rose. Though she asked for little, she demanded much. Sunshine, shelter, and endless patience. They say every rose has its thorns, but her thorns couldn't shield her from loneliness. Through her, the little prince learned that love is just not gazing at beauty, but tending, watering, listening, and forgiving. And when he grew impatient, he discovered that true love requires time. And when he felt confused, he learned that true love speaks in actions more than in words. And when he walked away, he carried her voice inside his heart, teaching him that love once planted never leaves. can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we desire. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams as what we call it day. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Far, far away, the little prince arrived on a planet that glittered with gold. At its center sat a king on towering throne, and beside him a queen with jewels piled high, rings on every finger, glint in every glance. And to saying goes, a crown may glitter, but it cannot wear on empty heart.
Their voices echoed with orders, but no one truly listened. Their jewels shined brightly, but they give no warmth. And to this silent, shining kingdom stepped the little prince, small yet unafraid. head was swollen with pride or chained to power. On one small turning world, the little prince found a quiet man, a lamplighter, who guarded a single flame. Night after night, day after day, he lit his lamp though no eyes were watching. As the prophet reminds us, it is better to light one candle than to curse the darkness.
And in that faithful glow, the little prince saw a dignity, greatness born not of crowns, but of constancy and care. And the smallest light can guide the lost through an endless night. And the single act of duty can outshine 1,000 empty commands.
At least
your work brings light, warmth, and hope. When we shine for others, we shine ourselves.
You speak wisely for someone so small. The flame I carry, it does not belong to me. It belongs to every traveler, every dreamer, and every lost soul in the night. I may have no throne, no riches, no crown, but yet with this light I hold the kingdom of hope.
How rare! A grown-up who cares for something beyond himself. You're not like the others I have met.
Perhaps greatness is not in being powerful, but in being faithful to even the smallest promise. A simple flame can outshine a kingdom without love. Crowns may get glitter, but a lamp in the dark shows the way. And so long as I breathe, this lamp will never be abandoned.
Now I understand. Greatness is not found in orders or crowns, but in keeping a promise. Even when no one watches, even when no one claps, for a light that shines for others never truly goes out.
The little prince landed on a planet buried under paper, pens, and ledgers. No bird sang here, no trees grew here, only the scratching of pens, clattering of calculators, and the voice of a man convinced he owned the stars.
A planet where numbers danced louder than music, and where even the sunrise had to wait until it was written in a ledger. Here, imagination was bankrupt, but paperwork was endless.
Not
Don't worry, sir. You still owe a desk, 5 pence, and a very tired secretary.
He tries to keep the stars in the ledger. Next week, he will try to keep the moon in his wallet.
Cruel is not how many things you count, but how many hearts you care for.
Finally, the little prince arrived on Earth, a planet vast beyond count. The mountains kiss the sky, and oceans whisper in endless tides. And in this land of plenty, he discovered longing. For even the largest world feels empty when love is far away.
It was here upon this restless earth that the little prince met a creature, silent, winding through shadow, the snake.
There are so many rulers, 1,000 princes, 1,000 vessels, yet none are mine. Among millions, one rule is my rule. For love does not count the many, it turns into one. Love makes one flower unique. Love makes one heart complete.
You will see her again, Prince, but only if you are brave enough to let go.
Beauty is everywhere, yet it is empty without belonging. A garden may dazzle the eye, but only one flower can root itself in the heart. Love makes one flower more precious than 1,000 gardens.
But just as shadows lengthened, light danced back into his journey. For a desert does not only echo silence, it also carries laughter. And where mystery threatened, friendship came skipping in on nimble paths.
Not a shadow to fear, but a spark to trust. Not a whisper of endings, but a promise of beginnings. The fox entered not with power or pride, but with twinkle in his eyes and mischief in his stride.
Time slowed, one journey near its end, yet every ending carries a seed of return. The pilot mended his plane, but the little prince mended hearts, teaching love, loss, and courage to let go.
Friendship had bound like stars stitched across the night, but love calls us home, and even the brightest wanderer must return to where his roots await.
No, dear prince, return to your world. She waits for you. She needs you. And I will carry your story so others may learn what you have taught me.
My gift is swift. My path is unseen. Fear not, little one. To return, you must be brave enough to let go.
Do not forget me, Prince. Come visit me again.
Friends never vanish. They live in life, in memory, and in heart. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye.
And so, through the silent gift of the snake, the little princess' journey circled back to the one who had always been waiting. Across deserts and stars, through lesson of power, greed, duty, and love, his steps finally turned towards home. Across desert, for every journey of the heart, no matter how far it wanders, finds its way back to where love first began.
On his tiny planet, beneath the same sky of stars, the rose swayed in the wind, fragile, proud, and alone, until he returned. Her thorns could not shield her from longing, her petals could not hide her sorrow, yet hope lived in every breath of her fragrance. And at last, she saw him again, the boy who left, the prince who loved, the heart that was hers forever. Waited at home, on a tiny planet beside a single rose. to sing their silent song, we too are invited to remember that love never ends. It simply shines on in every heart that dares to care.
Shining differently, yet still shining. She came as a wanderer, left as a teacher, and still remains as a friend. When you leave, what should I remember most?
Remember to be kind. Even the smallest kind act can shine brighter than the stars.
Will the stars look the same without you?
No, each star carries a piece of what we learned. When you see them, think of kindness traveling across the universe.
And when you go for a journey again, how will I find you?
Just think of me. I'll be there in every good deed, in every gentle word.
Think of the little prince and remember his words. What is essential shines all the time among us. Unseen in every act of love, in every heart that dares to care. And though I'm but a single flower, his love made me more than the world. My thorns could not protect me, but his devotion made me bloom eternally.
And though I'm small, my heart grew as wide as the stars because of love. I learned that true strength is not in crowds or numbers, but in the courage to care, to forgive, and to return. So I leave you with this. The stars will keep shining, but it's your kindness that makes the world truly bright. Never forget, what is essential
Is invisible to the eye.
My journey isn't over. There are still new planets to explore. Maybe the next journey might begin with you. If I visited your planet next, what would you teach me?
And so ends the journey of the little prince. A journey of laughter and lessons, of roses and stars, of farewells and forever. Dear audience, may you carry this reminder home. Love, friendship, and kindness are the real treasures of the universe. The little prince's journey was a tapestry of lessons. From the pilot, we learned wonder. From the rose, love's fragile strength.
The king showed him that power without kindness is hollow. The lamp-lighted God, that faithfulness shines brightest in darkness.
The businessman revealed that numbers cannot measure what truly matters. Earth awakened longing. The snake thought that endings lead to beginnings. And the fox gifted the greatest truth. What is essential is invisible to the eye.
Now
introduce the cast. Shimmering, watchful, and ever guiding, the stars. Joyful, sprightly, and full of song, the peacocks. Graceful, tender, and full of beauty, the flowers. Melodious, expressive, and harmonious, the singer. A million dreams is all eternity.
Commanding, boastful, and grand, the king.
Obedience is my throne, and command is my kingdom.
Proud, glittering, and delightfully dramatic, the queen.
And I am the queen. I demand gold, silk, and 50 cakes for breakfast.
Loyal, vigilant, and disciplined, the loyal guards.
All obey the king. All serve the queen. Long live the shiny crowns.
Mysterious, calm, and full of wisdom, the snake.
I am the patriot. My gift is swift. My promise is playful, clever, and wise in matters of the heart. The fox. Will you take me, little wanderer? Serene, radiant, and compassionate, Mother Earth.
loved